Hey guys, crypto market update. So starting here with the Bitcoin chart, still just grinding around. We had this Adam, and people are calling like that Adam and Eve double bottom here. Now I had the Adam, the sharp V bottom, and then now we're looking at like this Eve bottom, a little bit more narrow. Pulling back good. Yeah, potentially starting to form a little bit of a cup and handle pattern, but not really seeing that. More that Adam and Eve double bottom. So as long as that holds up, as long as this $7,150 range holds up, I think we're doing really pretty good. I'm going to be looking at another retest of this descending wedge. So, right here where the right here, somewhere in this area, probably going to be grinding around these EMAs. I use Fibonacci EMAs. These EMAs, the 55, I really like this 55. I imagine it's going to come out over here somewhere, and then once it does, let's see what happens. That's going to get really pretty interesting to see what happens there. If and when we break out of this descending wedge, we will break out of it at some point. I don't know if we'll break down or break up, but if we do break out of this upwards, see a massive trend. I think that'll kick off the beginning to another at least all-time high for this year. Once that happens, I believe we'll be retesting that 20K level. So big area to watch right in here. I entered a long position. My first ad was on this little retest here around 7,100, and I'm gunning for 8,500 target. That's my target. My stop loss is down here around 6,800, something like that. Mental stop there. Also going to be adding as this holds up. We're just had a little pullback. Let's just zoom in here just a little bit. The 4 hour had a little bit of volatility there on the 4 hour. We're seeing these wicks, these big, huge wicks come in, instant buyers coming in. What that tells me is that the order books are getting thin, right? The order books are getting thin. We're getting these big pumps, and there's just not a lot of sellers on the books. And so then what's happening is we're triggering different spots, and the algorithms are jumping in and selling. So, I think we're going to continue up to the upside, and we're going to continue to move. This is a hard range to trade, just get chopped up, so I like to set my target a little bit higher. So my target's around 8,500. I'll probably see that maybe towards the end of the year when we look to maybe retest this upper line of the line there. So my next heaviest position is XTZ Tezos. Really been making a move, and what I was doing is I was watching this 12 hour. I knew we were getting close to a breakout. There's been a lot of positive fundamental news around XTZ. Been moving, been moving. So what I looked is I was looking at this 12 hour equilibrium, and that was my entry point. It's when we broke the 12 hour, we had a higher high, lower high, lower low, or higher low. Then we had a lower high, another higher low, and then yet again lower high. So this was my mark right there, 3,400. So on this candle is where I entered, and around 3,500. Once we broke this more recent high, 4,200, I added to my position there. And my target's up here somewhere in the $2 range or so. Initially my stop was down around 120. I've now since moved that to 123. I'm just gonna continue to trail my stop. Wherever this pullback gets to, I'm going to add my stop to there. I'm also adding again, I'm going to add on this retest of this descending line here, or this horizontal line. So the retest, wherever this is, I have some orders stacked between 48 and 44, somewhere in there I'm going to be adding, if it in fact it makes it that high. So yeah, that's my Tezos trade. Also really super interested in the Theta token here. Definitely been having some market cycles. I like the fundamentals of this. Seems to be holding up really quite well over the last several months. This looks like to me big accumulation phase. See the volume profile really spiking up in this range, and also we've noticed an uptick in the volume over the last couple weeks. So that also shows me some pretty heavy accumulation. I took a position initially right around the 1,000 sats or so. I'll be adding once we begin to break out of this range. Most likely I'll do it on this, on that 233 exponential moving average. And once we get a close above that, so right now it's around 1,200 sats. Once we get a close above that, I really think it's off to the races, and we'll begin to see some of these 5x pumps, whatnot. So my initial target, pretty conservative, somewhere around 1,400 initial targets, but then I'm gunning for a higher range. I'll use some fib extensions once we get to that point. So pretty much what I got for you guys today. If you like the video, like the comments, or if you like the video, please give me a like, subscribe. If you have any questions at all, please drop them in the comment box. I'm happy to answer any and all questions. And otherwise, yeah, guys, have a great day out there. Do good things, and check back in shortly as we get more information. Go from there.